just wanted to film a video today of things I do to take care of my bearded dragon, and I'm going to start by showing you how I prepare his food. So what he's going to be getting today is some escarole, some red bell pepper. I'm going to put a little cilantro in it, and we're also going to do collard greens. Usually the collard greens I get are like this, like they're just loose and, you know, by weight. But I decided to get it in a bag this time, and it's actually staying fresher longer, so I might do that. So I'm going to start with the escarole by just removing this like stalk part. Anything like this I worry could cause impaction, so I just like to give him this little leafy bit, and then I just remove this hard stuff. Okay, now that I have separated this stalk from the leafy part of the escarole, I'm gonna go ahead and chop this up into smaller pieces. He's an adult, so it doesn't have to be super duper small. I'm just gonna do maybe like 1 inch by 1 inch pieces. A trick that I have learned over time with cutting up these big pieces of lettuce a little bit quicker is you can actually take a segment of it, you can kind of roll it up like that, and then you can just make a couple of cuts, and it's kind of like, you know, making paper snowflakes. Like it cuts through the whole part usually. It just makes it a little quicker, and yeah. So that's about how big the pieces are. It doesn't have to be perfect, and like I said, he is an adult bearded dragon, so it doesn't have to be too small. Now that I've finished with the escarole, I'm gonna move on to my bell pepper. I am not going to give him this whole thing at one time. It really depends on your bearded dragon. Get to know them, see how much they eat. An adult bearded dragon will eat primarily veggies, like 80% veggies, 20% bugs. If you have a juvenile bearded dragon, you'll want to do reverse, so 80% bugs, 20% vegetables, but they are omnivorous, so it's important to have bugs and vegetables regularly fed to them. And then the little plates that I use for him, they're just like these ceramic bowls that I got from the thrift store. The brand is Sidekick, it's Corningware, but I like it because it's super easy to clean. Unlike some bowls, and this is just my opinion, some bowls that are made for reptiles are like that thick plastic, and they are kind of like rigidy. They're a little bit harder to clean and just could harbor bacteria easier, so I just found something that I could easily wash, scrub, you know, stick in the dishwasher, and yeah, it's just what's easy for me. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to these peppers. Usually I give him green ones, but I got a red one this time just to spice it up, give him a little bit of variety, just something a little bit different. Very important, you'll want to remove the seeds. I did already do that. I just cut it in half and I removed the stem and the seeds, so you want to make sure to do that. Seeds can be toxic to them from bell peppers. And then what I do is I'll cut it in half, and then I'll just cut the halves into little strips. And then I do peel off the skin. Again, the skin can be an impaction risk, so I just like to be better safe than sorry. And just get that off of there for him. Now I'm going to cut this up into some smaller pieces. Now I'm going to move on to some collard greens. Again, I got it pre-packaged. It's in a bag. It's pre-washed. Usually I just get it loose, but it seems to actually last longer for me this way in the bag. So it is kind of cut up, but again, you'll just want to make sure that you're removing any of these hard stalks from anything that you are feeding to your bearded dragon. To cut these up a little bit smaller, just like we did with the escarole lettuce. Now I'm gonna take some cilantro here. I don't always give him this, but I do like to switch things up every now and then just to give him some variety, some different tastes. I am just taking the leaves off of the stalks here. And then I think I'm going to actually do a little bit more pepper on top. So I'm going to take another section here. So now that we have our little salad here with our collard greens, our cilantro, our escarole, and our bell peppers, I'm gonna go ahead and take it upstairs to his tank and show you what I do from there. So here we are in his room. I do need to clean his tank before I put the new food in, but he is chilling in the cave here. I do actually have the ceiling fan going because it's been very hot outside where we live, and this temperature has been getting above 100. So he's probably just chilling, trying to cool down a little bit. He was basking a little bit earlier, and then he'll probably bask after he eats. But I'm going to take everything out. I do use paper towels as substrate. I do not love reptile carpet. I don't trust loose substrate. He has had some impaction scares before with live plants and things, so I'd rather just not risk it. And then we do also use shelf liners from the dollar store, which I can, oh, and he is hungry, which I can show to you in just a second. Okay, so just gonna take everything out of the tank, including him first. Just so we can give it a nice light cleaning. There's nothing in here that needs anything too crazy, so we're just gonna clean this stuff out and put fresh. Hello. He says hello. Give me a kiss. I am just going to put him on the ground. I just let him walk around. He has a little bed here. He has his little carrier sometimes he goes in. And just being mindful of where I step. So this is his hot side basking rock. It's pretty big. I think it's originally from PetSmart. It's like the only one this size that we could find. And then I put a few like little small tennis balls in there. I thought he might play with them, but well, they're still in there. This is his cool side basking. I have almost never seen him use it, but it's there. This is a little chair that I actually just recently got from the thrift store. It's Bitty Baby. Shout out Bitty Baby. Not sponsored. And this is his little toy. With new paper towels and these shelf liners I had mentioned. Go back in. I get to go back in. Now, we're going to take our salad. You may have noticed his tank does not have a water bowl. That is on purpose. Bearded dragons need a very low humidity. Some people choose to have a water bowl in their tank. I personally do not. To keep him hydrated, I spray his veggies with water and we do a soak every now and then. So I live in town, so I have chemicals and crap in my water. So I always treat it with a little bit of Reptisafe. And just give that a little shake. You will also want to mist the vegetables outside of the habitat. Again, humidity needs to stay as low as possible in there. So we'll just give them a couple good spritzes. I like to put Reptivite without D3. A good sprinkle of that. on his vegetables. I also like to put it on his bugs. Now, once a month or so, I give Repticalcium with D3. Very important you do not overdose on the D3 because it can actually cause symptoms of that mimic metabolic bone disease. So too much D3 bad, not enough D3 also bad. They give you this pretty large scoop. I mean, it's not huge, but if I were to fill this and put that much on his veggies, that is pretty much. So I just grab a little bit. And again, we only usually give him this about once or twice a month. And then we do the no D3 Reptivite all with every meal. So now we're gonna put this in. All right, and he says he is ready to eat. So we put that plate in and we are digging right in, folks. Little bit of ASMR for you here. He is a big fan of collard greens, that's why I give them to him so often. And he does usually like bell peppers, but like I said, we haven't had the red ones in a while, so he might just be a little bit confused here. Trying to get him to eat some bell pepper here. He's a little confused. And they are very slippery. Oh, slipped right out of his little mouth. Come on, little man. This is why he would not survive in the wild. There we go. And that's not right. The pepper is really fighting him. Oh. Come on, little man, you got it. I am also going to feed him a couple of dubia roaches. If you do not wish to see bugs or bugs being eaten, I will put a timestamp on the screen now that you can fast forward to so you can avoid seeing the bugs. So here's how I keep my dubias. I'm going to grab a little cup here. We're gonna go over to our Reptivite. Just dump a smidgen in there. And then we're going to go fishing. I do not like to touch them with my bare hands, so we use these feeding tongs. As far as I know, they do not bite. However, I'm not a bug fan. Now I'm just gonna shake them up a little bit so they can get coated. In that Reptivite. Close close this up. And we're gonna give him a couple bugs. I usually get 50 at a time of medium or larges from DubiaRoaches.com. They actually ship them right to you, and then I usually just have them held at the post office. So pretty convenient. I used to get them from PetSmart, but these were cheaper and more of them arrived alive in the container. So that's what I do now. He could probably eat about 20 or 30 or so at a time, but I do want to make sure he eats his greens, so we're just gonna give him those couple for now and leave him go. Thank you for watching. If you want me to film any more videos on any more of my special interests or my pets or whatever, drop a comment below. Thanks for watching. And he is so cute. And he does not want to be petted right now. All right, say bye, Rex. Say see you later.